أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرض أرواحنا له الفداء حجة ابن الحسن عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام على الأئمة الدعاة والقادة الهداة والسادة الولاة والضادة الحماة. Today we're doing this last line which I mentioned, وَالضَّادَةِ الْحُمَاتِ. So this is in the same rhyming function as the previous three. And again, here we have in one line two descriptions of the Aimmah alayhimu salam, and both of them in plural. So all of these four lines were all in the same way, same kind of rhyming, same plural, and each line has two descriptions. The first one is that Aimmah alayhimu salam, we are saying, Assalamu ala, peace be upon, ad-dhadatil humat, dhada. Dhada is plural of dha'id, meaning one who defends and prevents from mixing with harmful things and harmful people, for example. So they are dhada, they are ones who defend us. And they are humat. Humat is the plural of hami. Hami meaning the one who blocks, denies, or protects. So here what we are saying is, peace be upon the Imams who defend and protect. Now, there are different ways that they defend and protect. Let's go through what Agha says. He highlights 5 ways of the Aimmah alayhimu salam defending and protecting their Shias, and in fact you can say all humanity in some ways. So the first thing is that their wilayat itself is protective. They have been sent to everybody, yes. They have been sent to the whole world, all of mankind. Their message is for everybody. However, different groups, different people, different religions, the amount that they hold on to the Aimmah, they reach out to the Aimmah, they believe in the Aimmah, they accept the Imams alayhimu salam, that depends on how much protection and defense that they will get from Imams. So their wilayat is itself a protective thing. It's a protective shield for those people who believe in their wilayat. And this is coming back to the famous hadith from Imam Rida alayhi salatu wassalam, يقول الله عز وجل, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, wilayatu Ali ibn Abi Talib hisni, that famous hadith of Imam Rada's where he says, Allah says, so this is hadith of Silsilatul Dhahab. This is a golden narration hadith. Wilayatu Ali ibn Abi Talib hisni, the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salam, is my strong fortress. فَمَنْ دَخَلَ حِسْنِي أَمِنَ مِنْ عَذَابِي, whoever enters my fortress is safe from my punishment. So simply having belief in wilayat is something very, very valuable and very protective. It protects you from the azab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Secondly, they protect with their shafa'at on the Day of Judgment. They will protect their followers from the punishment by rescuing them. Of course, this is done with the permission and grace and rahmat, mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 3, a special kind of protection over the Shias against the enemies of the Shias. For example, here we can refer to the famous letter of Imam Zaman, Ajalallahu ta'ala farajuhu sharif, where he says the following. He says, Inna ghayru muhmilina. He says, do never think that we are somehow oblivious to what you people are going through. Never think that we have any shortcomings towards you. Never think that we don't remember you and that we don't look out for you. If we had not looked out for you, then many calamities and many hardships would have been befallen you, and your enemies would have destroyed you. So how is this done? Well, this could be either through their du'as and prayers for their Shias, or it could be even practical and direct. We have many narrations where Aimmah somehow, some way, even during the ghaybat of Imam Zaman, we have so many incidents that we can refer to amongst mu'mineen and ulama that Imam Zaman has either been there for them, helped them, protected them, rescued them, or at least he has sent someone on his behalf to do that for the mu'mineen. So either it could be through their du'as and prayers, that would be kind of an indirect way of helping and protecting, or it can be even more direct, like practically doing something, appearing, being there. Number four, through teaching and guidance. Sometimes, again, this is directly from them. They will sit people down and they will teach. Imam Sadiq al-Islam, for example, he has many, many amazing companions and students and disciples whom he taught directly, that he trained and nurtured. And sometimes it can be in the other way, that they answer the doubts and challenges which may be posed on the Shia faith from outside, from other people, from enemies of the faith, for example. Number five, a very special kind of protection which they give is by putting themselves into extreme difficulty and sometimes taking the brunt of the oppression so that the Shias do not have to. For example, the example of Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam. Maybe if Imam Musa Kazim would not have gone into prison for all those long years, who knows what kind of dhulm and oppression would have been done to the Shias at that time. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a system. His system is that He protects, He defends. For example, the human body, let's take the human body as a simple example. The human body is open to all sorts of attack from illnesses and diseases and microbes and germs and different viruses. Allah has placed a system of protection within our bodies, antibodies, for example, to fight against the different illnesses and diseases, albeit sometimes, yes, it needs help through medicine and other things in the world, but Allah has provided protection for the bodies from this kind of thing. So now, when an attack happens on the mind and the soul of a person or even a whole society, a whole community, again, Allah must have a system to protect it. And these attacks need to be there. They have to happen. Never think, oh, why is our religion being attacked? Why are we coming under the spotlight? Why are these different questions being asked? No, these have to be there so that the thoughts, ideas, and answers can become stronger and more sophisticated. And this also opens new horizons to us. The way we would say, well, the scientific world, the world of medicine, that progresses whenever a new disease comes along. Yes, it will claim a few people. It will kill a few people. It will make some people die and sick. However, medicine will find a way to overcome that and become better and stronger as a result. The same way this has to happen in religion. It will happen. It has to happen for the religion to become stronger and stronger. Yes, it may claim a few people, unfortunately, those people who are maybe weaker or somehow they have been duped or conned into believing something. But this has to happen, Agha says, so that our faith can become stronger and we have better, stronger, and more sophisticated answers against these things. These challenges will come in various forms, ideas, cultural attacks on ethics, society, political attacks. Sometimes, yes, these things happen through ignorance. People really don't know. They ask honest but ignorant questions. They want to know something. They haven't grasped it. So they, unfortunately, with their ignorance, they attack. Sometimes it's with malice, with evil, with malice, with bad intentions. So when these things happen, then who will protect? Who can protect the religion? Who can protect people? Who can protect society? Well, you need two qualities. Number one, you have to have the ability to answer these things. And number two, you have to have the care. You have to care about the community, care about society, care about people. Who more than the Imams of Ahlul Bayt care about us and have the ability to answer these things? Therefore, no one cares more than them. No one has the ability more than them. So they are the best ones placed to protect. Hence, they are al-humaat. They are defenders and they are protectors. Many times, these attacks on our religion, as you can see these days, they come using the Quran itself. The Quran is being used to attack other teachings of the Holy Quran. Who knows the Quran the best? Well, as we have established many times over in the Ziyarat Jamia Kabira sessions, it is the Imams of Ahlul Bayt. They have access to that unlimited knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are able to defend the faith and use the Holy Quran properly and answer those challenges on the Holy Quran by using the Holy Quran, by explaining it properly. We have a hadith which says the following, Ama innahu laysa inda ahadim minan nas, that you should know there is not any kind of understanding or knowledge or correct understanding in any person إِلَّا شَيْءٌ أَخَذُوهُ مِنَّا أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ. Except that it started with something that they took from us, the Ahlul Bayt. In other words, every single idea, theory, knowledge, science, field of study, it all comes from Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, one way or the other. At some point, yes, people can sometimes go in a different direction. They start with something good from Ahlul Bayt, they go into a different direction because they leave the company and the path of Ahlul Bayt. But otherwise, everything does come from the Imams alayhimus salam. And as long as we stay attached to them and on their wilayat, we will inshallah never go astray. The last point which Agha mentions is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually the one who is the ultimate, true, independent protector and defender of the faith and defender of people as well. However, the Imams carry out this work but on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Ali alayhi salam in Nahj al-Balagha, sermon number 194, he says, Nahmaduhu ala ma waffaqa lahu min at-ta'ah. We praise Allah for the support and strength He has given in carrying out His obedience. وَذَادَ عَنْهُ مِنَ الْمَعْصِيَةِ, and in preventing from disobedience. Here he uses the exact word that we're discussing, ذَادَ. وَذَادَ عَنْهُ مِنَ الْمَعْصِيَةِ. So when Imam alayhi salam says, yes, Allah gives the tawfeeq to perform His obedience, and He is the one that prevents from disobedience, yes. But through who? How? Through the Imams alayhimus salam, through His representatives, through His anbiya. They explain the law, they provide the warnings, they provide the promises, they provide the promise of heaven, they warn against hell, they explain the book, they explain the wisdom of Allah, they lead, they advise, they do amr bil ma'ruf, they do nahy al munkar. All of these things are done by whom? By Aimmah alayhimus salam, and the prophets and the Holy Prophet, of course. And they are the ones who do this work on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are therefore Aimmah, who are al-humaat, defenders and protectors. Now, in our next session, inshallah, I'm planning to do a bonus session with some wilayati narrations from Agha Abadi's book on this line. And then in the next proper session, we will discuss the next line, which is wa ahli dhikr. Let's see if there's any questions. Otherwise, we can finish for today. The Imams did not take the hardships. Would we, as their followers, be subject to the same hardships? Well, very good question. We have some narrations to this effect, actually, that the Imams, they did actually help us in this regard, that they took hardships. Imagine if the Imam alayhi salam would not have been imprisoned, then what would have happened? Possibly hundreds of Shias, thousands of Shias would have been killed in a rampage. See, the Imams are not like other normal, everyday leaders. Yeah, they're sinless, they are perfect, they are guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They know the best course of action. They know when to put themselves forward and when to reserve themselves. They know they're not selfish. They embrace martyrdom. They embrace hardship. They do everything fully for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they know what to do and they know when to put themselves into hardship. Think about our current Imam, Imam Zaman. Isn't he in hardship right now? What kind of hardship is he in, looking at the state of the world? But he is absolutely submitting to the will of God. And who knows that if he would have come at an inopportune time, then possibly many things would have gone wrong. So he has to wait until he has the order of Allah, according to the wisdom of Allah, according to the maslahat of Allah, and then he will come. Look at all of our Imams, Imam Ali alayhi salam, for example. Many people say, why did he not rise up and take his right? If he would have, God knows what kind of calamity would have befallen Islam at that time. Maybe we would not have had Islam. So he had to have sabr, even though, as he says, there was a thorn in my eye and a blockage in my throat. But still, I had sabr at that time. So yes, Imams alayhimus salam, they take certain hardships, so then we don't have to. And that is their wisdom that is given to them from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think we will conclude here. So that was our discussion on this line from Jamia. وَالضَّادَةِ الْحُمَاتِ وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ.